Motivation is a hoax, and understanding just how much of a hoax it is completely changed my life. Because we typically think of motivation as something that you need to feel before you do a hard thing. I need to feel motivated before I write that book, or go to the gym, or whatever else it is that I want to do. But the truth is that hard things are hard in large part because it's really uncommon to just spontaneously wake up one day and think, wow, I really want to do this hard thing that I've been putting off. And sure, plenty of things are hard in the doing of them, but a lot of the time the problem isn't in the doing, it's in the starting. So if you're waiting around to feel motivated, you're just never going to do the hard thing, because if it were easy to feel motivated to do it, you probably would have done it already, right? And this is how motivation just becomes another form of procrastination. The idea that we need to feel motivated before we do something that we know we should do anyway becomes a reason not to do it. We wait and wait and wait for that light bulb moment when motivation appears, and it just never comes for us. And if you expect things to be smooth sailing, you're probably never going to leave the harbor. And a lot of the problems here for us are based on how our brains work. Our brains really don't want to do hard things, particularly when those hard things involve spending short-term, concrete energy for long-term abstract gains. Because for our ancestors living hundreds of thousands of years ago, it made really good evolutionary sense to basically be a couch potato, to conserve energy, to stay in the known, and to minimize risk. Because the consequences of a mistake were literally life and death. Now these days that's not the case for most people who are in a position to watch a video like this, but we're still stuck with a brain that's focused on keeping us alive, not keeping us happy. There are so many people out there who have incredible ideas. You watching this probably have some incredible ideas. You have big dreams and desires and a real sense of what could be possible for you. And you might think that what's missing here for you is motivation, but that's just not it. Motivation is not what gets us started. What gets us started most of the time is courage, and a commitment, frankly, to embracing the suck for long enough to fight your brain's tendencies in order to get to motivation. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Kind of ironically, motivation is actually pretty good at one thing, and that's keeping us going when we've already begun. Motivation is something that tends to appear for people after you start the thing, not before you start the thing. It follows our actions, it doesn't precede them. And I can use myself here as an example. I used to go to the gym really regularly. It was a part of my routine, I looked forward to going, and then I got hurt. And starting again was really hard for me. It frankly sucked to feel like I had lost some of my strength and my fitness, and just the ability to feel competent in spaces like that, right? And I'd also just gotten out of the habit of doing it, so I had to push really hard to go. But once I started going, after the third or fourth time, and those 3 or 4 times were really, really hard, I started to feel motivation to go the 5th or 6th time. I started to feel competent again. I started to feel like I kind of knew what I was doing. My strength was coming back. I got excited about the idea of what I might accomplish in the future. Motivation doesn't lead to doing. Doing leads to accomplishment, which can lead us to feeling motivated, because feeling competent is motivating. Feeling like we're energized and engaged and we're making stuff happen in a positive way is really motivating. But we can only get to those feelings once we've already begun. And this can be an absolutely life-changing insight for people. It really was for me. It was this realization that I didn't need to be a prisoner to how I felt in the moment. And frankly, the realization that it was never going to be easy to start, so I might as well start today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button down below. That really helps me out. And you can also head down to the comments to let me know when motivation kicked in for you. How long did you need to stick with something before you started feeling motivated? And hey, if you had one of those experiences that does happen for people from time to time, where you really did truly and suddenly feel motivated to do a hard thing. Until next time, thanks for watching.